Hello and welcome to episode 66 of Comics with Stevie D. I got my new cover page going. I made a few changes. This episode is called Horses and Heroes. I had to go through 10 chart boxes, literally, to find the comics with horses on the cover. Okay. I like horses, even though I've only ridden them 2 times in my life. Once a pony ride when I was 7 years old at a carnival. Then, when I was 16, I spent a day on my dad's friend's farm. The lady showed me how to brush, blanket, and saddle a horse. Then I rode around the farm for an hour or two. Then we went out onto a gravel road. And my steed, a beautiful brown shiny horse, took off on a full gallop down the gravel road, and I was only about 175 pounds back then. I'm squeezing my legs and holding on to for dear life, you know. The lady come riding up besides me and grabbed the reins and stopped the horse. I was so happy she did that. Let me put this book up while I'm telling you the story. I was so happy when she rode up next to me and slowed the horse down. We trotted back to the barn and I put up the horses. While I was brushing the horse, it stepped on my foot and stood on it. That's a lot of weight. A horse, 1,000-something pounds, you know. It took all my effort to push the side of the horse to get it off of me. It just was like a weight, you know. I love that day. All the things that happened in it. You have been looking at Classic Illustrated number 11 from 1944. Don Quixote. Cover art by Zansky. Now, this has been reprinted in the 60s, 64, and on and on and on. But this book smells real old. And right here, it says 1944. Right by my finger. And so, another interesting thing about this book when I was looking into it, because I knew he did battle with a windmill because he was delusional. See him doing battle with the windmill? That's cool. But inside I found 2 pieces of paper of a kid named Michael Brown, and he's diagramming sentences. Like I had to diagram sentences in the 2nd, 3rd grade. Nouns, verbs, pronouns, all that kind of stuff. Prepositional phrases. Kids didn't learn that later on. You know? Well, Don Quixote, old book. Alright, the next one is a Pence copy. Defenders 73 from 1972. Cover art by Herb Trimpe. Valkyrie's winged horse, Aragorn. That Pegasus-like horse. And the villain has got a fire sword, and he slapped her so hard it knocked her sword out of her hands. But the winged horse is kind of cool. Here's a Iron Man and the Court of King Arthur. I've showed this before. I love this book. Number 59, Volume 3 from 2002. Cover art by Mike Grell. And he's back in time. And he just looks so majestic. And I said if I ever got the artist to sign it, I'd have him sign it right in the clouds right here. That would be a cool place to sign it. Alright, in the same series, there was 3 comic story arc. Same writer. Now the villain's on the horse. Iron Man 61 from 2003. Cover art by Mike Grell. Also, on the interior art, it's real neat because it's in the style of the comic strip Prince Valiant, which I used to read. Any page will do it. Showing Well, here's a good one. So showing the lines and the inks, kind of like Prince Valiant style. I'll bring it in real close so you can see the detail. So that's Iron Man. Next is one of my all-time favorite comic books. I bought it for $2 or $3 in Leesburg, Missouri, in an antique store, and wasn't going to buy it at first. It was on a comic rack with maybe 20, 25 comics on all the spinners, you know. But I kept coming back to it. And I've shown this book 2 or 3 times, and I just love the balance, the right amount of bubbles, the silhouette, the hero, the cape, the sword, the horse bucking. And I thought these were clouds, but I was watching one of my old episodes. Clouds are up here. What the guy has drawn is a mirage. Isn't that cool? A mirage. I've never seen that before in a comic book. The more I look at this comic book, the more I like it. Alright, here's one. This has a first appearance in it. It's Obadiah Stane, the Ironmonger. You might know him from one of the Iron Man movies. He was an industrialist that took advantage of Tony Stark when he was having severe alcoholism, and he took over his business and wanted Tony Stark in the gutter, and that's where he ended up until he pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Iron Man Volume 1, number 163 from 1982, Jim Starlin, cover artist. Okay, now I found another Zorro. I showed this one briefly just to compare it to the one I really like. It's a good cover. And Zorro, number 1 from 2021. This American Mythology Productions comic has Zorro in a very standard cliche pose. Excuse me. Cover art by Roy Martavois. Bring it in close. It's good, but it's not as good as the one I love. You know. Yeah. Okay. Now the next one is not a horse, and it's not Ichabod Crane. It's the Legend of Sleepy Hollow with Ghost Rider. So I am just saying it's an iron horse for now, and I won't stay on it very long. I'll just give you the information. Ghost Rider number 8 from 2007. I looked all through it. There's not a horse on the inside. Cover art by Mark Texera. All right, and my last horse book. When I was buying the space books, I was looking at other books. And I absolutely fell in love with this cover. I love the silhouetted cowboy. It's not fully silhouetted. You have the details of the horse. You have the cold breath of the cowboy, the Lone Ranger, and the horse also. And they're going down an icy hill. And it reminds me of the song Wildfire. And there came a killing snow and all that. And I just love this cover. Now that's my horse thing, and I just wanted to show you the completion of one of my collecting goals this year. Here is Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, number 1 of the Midnight Suns. I needed this one, and I needed Ghost Rider 31 of the Midnight Suns. And what's unusual about all these books is it has a line going through it. It looks like someone took a felt pen and drawn on it. They're all in the poly bag still. And it's on this one and other ones too. It's just how the artist did it. I guess it's smoke. But finished the run. So I'm happy with that. And just a little... Yep, I said all that stuff. Yeah, and I said it will be one of my next favorite covers, you know. So I'm going to do a favorite cover show different than the last one because I bought a lot of books since then. And I've changed. I quit collecting comic books in 2021 or so, maybe a little earlier, because I was renovating this house I'm in, and but I collected ever since I was in my 30s and 40s, and I collected everywhere in the St. Louis area. Like you young guys go out now and go all over the place hunting down comic books. And I know when I watch your content and your videos, I really enjoy it, and I feel like I'm there a little bit. And I always, when you're going through the stacks and stuff, I always say, wait, let me see that one. And you pick out one and say, I like that one, I would have picked that one out. But I'm happy to have all the ones I have. And you know what I've noticed too? When you get the urge to go out and hunt for comic books, all you got to do is go to your supply, and you got a boatload of comic books. If you're a collector like me, go through the ones you have. You get the same feeling, and you're not spending any money, and it's reminding you of the books that you love and have collected. So with that, I want to say happy hunting. I hope you find all the books you're looking for and enjoy the hobby. I like the hobby so much. I'm getting more and more into it. Can't wait until the weather warms up and I can go out somewhere. Take care.